So, funny story real quick. I just got a Facebook message on my messenger from James Allen. It says, thanks for the notice, which proves that like Facebook does work because now somebody knows that I'm out doing consulting with you guys.
Yeah.
That's a friend of mine. It's also one of your people, right?
No, James, he doesn't have anything else to do.
I completely agree.
Wait, dang it.
Yeah, he overdoes a little bit. He's never gonna see that. That's your camera. You're the one that has to show it.
Well, we're gonna post it.
Yeah. but no, I mean that God honest, that that just proves to you like people are watching you all the time. So, all right. So we're gonna do 6-pack. So if we're doing this house, did it just run out?
No.
Oh, okay. We're doing the 3 on either side, correct? Is that what we're currently doing? Oh,
No.
No.
what is it?
Ours currently is.
Let
Geez,
it
that's
be
like
back
20
now.
packing.
We're bigger dozen.
3 on the right side, 3 on the left side.
Hit the bigger dozen, baby.
We're currently that right
Yeah.
there. This is our
3
six
up
pack.
front, 2
Three,
sides.
3.
Okay.
That's what we're currently doing.
Yeah, so do this.
Okay.
It takes you're already there, right? Honestly, if you're gonna mark any of them off, you could mark these guys off right here. Right? If you want to. And do 2, 2, and the 5. It's gonna be 9. We did all 13 of them.
What was your success rate off of 1 6-pack on average?
So, and I've never tracked, I have no idea.
What did you expect?
Well, like I said, this is how we would get into a neighborhood. So, I mean, again, we were trying to sell 2 to 4 roofs in the first like week of the storm. Roof them really fast, so I could start 6-packing early. And then we ran our whole storm year based on those 4 roofs. Like that's pretty much that. So success of the 6-pack, $2 million. You know, I'm gonna go do $1 million off of that, the first couple that I get, and then I'm just gonna 6-pack my way through a neighborhood. Because what happens is these guys, if you do this correctly, so first off, let's talk about when we actually 6-pack, right? That's the first thing.
Your timing.
The timing of actually 6-packing. So what are y'all doing currently? Or supposed to do, or thinking about doing, whatever you want to call it.
So we moved to a model to where the RAs are going on a replacement lead provided by us on
Okay.
6-pack every lead.
On the lead. You're 6-packing the lead. Okay.
And then for those that have past clients,
So, well, hold on for real fast. So on this door knock, what does that sound like?
so I get a call, go out to it, whatever comes of that call, then there's 5 more houses around the 6-pack around immediate of that proximity. is
Yeah,
what-
but I'm saying, what is this door knock? Or what is this?
Oh, what is my,
What is the pitch? Yeah.
what's the
introduction?
pitch?
Yeah.
The last one was, hey, thanks for opening the door. I noticed you had wind damage up there.
So they have visible damage.
They had visible
Okay.
damage.
Say they didn't have visible damage.
Sir,
Say they don't have visible damage.
I've been, again, it depends on the time of day, depends on the look of the face, but generally it's gonna start with a thank you from me,
Sure.
because you answered the door.
Yeah.
Something to knock them off guard,
Yeah.
and then I've gotta have some connection point. You talk about getting 10 seconds, I'm looking for the same,
Yeah.
it just, you know.
Because the only way I can imagine this on just a lead is I'm here inspecting so-and-so's roof. Would you like me to inspect yours while I'm here? Maybe you have something more creative than that, because that's all I can come up with.
Well, I don't use that, so.
What do you use? That's what I'm asking.
That's why,
Just thanks and then,
I don't have a script. I mean, I don't know, fly by the seat of my pants.
I gotta teach him what to do.
Well,
What do I teach him to do?
he's
on parole, so he's about to go to jail.
already put him on parole.
He's going to jail tonight if he doesn't sell it.
What do we want Matt to say?
Matt's gonna get re-upped if he doesn't get his roof sold.
I mean, what do you say? I mean, you're doing these? Yeah? So what do you say? Go.
I tell them that I've been doing an inspection wherever I'm doing the inspection.
I mean, yeah, to your point, on the first appointment, if you're inspecting off if you're six packing off an inspection, yes, it's gonna sound, most of the time, most likely, I was on your neighbor's roof, or I saw wind damage, I saw hail damage, would you like it for an inspection, or just letting you know? The
Yeah,
first,
so on this particular one, I might knock these right here. Okay? Stick in here. I'm gonna park my truck, because I'm trying to think of reasons why I'm even knock these doors, because otherwise I'm having a real hard time. But if I park my truck right here, right? These two, my door knock's gonna sound like, hey, I'm here to inspect Mrs. Jones's house. And we use company cam, so I'm gonna walk around the perimeter. Please don't shoot me when I walk by your windows. I'm not peeping in your window. I'm trying to get a joke out of it, right? Not a peeping Tom. My name's Brad. Okay? But I'm gonna do that because I'm doing this full 360. This one, I'm gonna door knock because I parked in front of their house. Hey, I parked my truck out here. Hope that's not a problem. If it is, tell me, I'll move it now. No, it's fine. Okay, cool. I'm just doing Mrs. Jones' inspection. I'll be in and out of here. Just need to get a picture of the front of her house for our office. Okay, right? Not even asking for anything.
before you've even gone on to inspect the house,
Mhm.
there for.
I actually knocked all the doors around it before I started inspecting the house. Because I'm not there to inspect their house, I'm there to inspect this house. So six packing is different because it's absolutely not selling. Otherwise, y'all are just door knocking. Like if you're gonna do that, just door knock. Like just door knock the street because that's what you're doing, right? Six packing, the methodology and the thought process behind six packing is, hey, I'm trying to win a friend and some trust, and you being their neighbor, and like, hey, he's different. He came to do their roof. I didn't try to sell you anything. I just let you know why I was here. Hey, I don't really like seeing people walking around, and that's why I did these too. You're gonna see me take some photos. I'm gonna be standing in the street. My truck's in front of Mr. Bill's house, whatever. If it's a problem, let me know. I'll be in and out of here probably about 45 minutes. I'm gonna give them a time frame because I'm trying to also prove like I'm a fast roofer. I'll be in and out of here. I'm not here to waste people's time, but I'm just letting people know what I'm doing, right? So that's what my first six-pack door knock would sound like. I'm not here to inspect your roof. I'm not here to sell you anything at all. I'm here to sell Mrs. Jones something, not you guys. But I don't want you to shoot, I don't want you to call the cops, I don't want to inconvenience you, so on and so forth, okay? Let them ask the questions, they'll drive the boat from there. Because they will be surprised that you knocked on the door to give them any idea of why you're there. Because most of us, roofing salespeople, we just walk all over people's yards and back up and take our photos from their front yard, and we never tell them what the heck we're doing. We're just there taking photos of this guy's house, but we're in their yard. You know, hey, y'all's house is really close. Do you have any dogs? Do you mind if I wait in the backyard so I can get a good photo going back over the fence of their house? Like, do you mind if I look at the back of the fence? Because we also do fencing, and that might be part of, you know, the recommendation we made for Mrs. Jones. If I could see the backside, it would be helpful. Oh, y'all do fencing? Right? It's all, there's a reason behind me asking for for this first. If I'm gonna do it on a lead, I don't want to come across salesy in any of this. On my six packs, you'll never catch me selling at all. You're gonna hear me talk about every single thing that I used to do, but none of it was based on selling. The only ones I was ever selling were the true door knocks of corner houses, like neighborhoods I was going into door knock. I was there to sell them a roof, right? These, I'm not giving away corner house, showcase house discounts. I'm not doing any of that junk. I'm there for Mrs. Jones because I have an appointment, and I'm a different kind of roofer, right? That's really my point. So when's the next time that y'all door knock on these?
Adjusted appointment.
The adjuster appointment?
Are we doing it on Chester's appointments?
We're coming off the roof and they're claiming it.
Say that again.
If we're coming off the roof and the adjuster's claiming the roof,
Uh-huh.
You guys are six packing them?
I haven't been, but I can. That's what you want.
Well, I'm not sure I would do, again, depending what I've done with, what am I doing with that client. But, when I sign a contract, definitely would want to look at six packing with the signing of the contract. I've got something to share with them, the neighbor, it's not about selling.
So what does that one sound like? Well, are we doing adjuster appointments?
What we set forth is that you're six packing every time you're out there.
Okay.
Because if you didn't get a hold of one the first time, you're not out there a second time, you're with the adjuster, six pack.
Sure.
You're out there a third time to sign the contract, if you haven't gotten a hold of them the first or second time, six pack. If you have, tell them you just signed a contract. So it's just providing the opportunity that you're out there to six pack.
Well, see, I think that's probably where we need a definition, because that's where I get fuzzy. To me, if we're, I know you look at me, but I am fuzzy and shade. If we are to six pack, to me, when we say six pack, if you hit that first line lead, if we're gonna six pack it, just because they don't answer, doesn't mean we've completed our obligation of six packing. To me, we go back and we hit the next three. If only two answered, we need to go back and hit the next three. If only two more answered, then we need to go back and complete that one.
So the idea in six packing, for me, is not about hitting any of them,
Okay?
because I'm actually telling them what I'm there to do.
Okay?
So if I hit this one and I hit this one, and then I have an adjuster appointment, that doesn't make me only go knock this door, this door, and this door. I'm gonna knock all the same doors,
Yeah,
because I'm there to tell them what I'm doing.
Right.
That's the whole
No,
point.
I agree
Every
with
time,
that.
every time you're there, every time you're out there, I'm here, this is what I'm doing.
So I think that for me, like on this appointment right here, I would do just these, like these right here, because that's the ones that are gonna be affected by me being there. Right? Make this easy. Like break this down to where we're knocking for a reason and we're able to tell them the reason, because an adjuster is not gonna go stand across the street and take a photo. If you wanna do all six, if one of y'all parks across the street, then that's fine. Do it the same way, but if not, just do the three that are affected, right? We're trying to door knock the ones that are affected. I'm trying to get you to wanna do it is the first thing. And make it not be time consuming. We're gonna hit all these doors over and over and over again because of how we're going out, right?
Well, because what you're doing is changing our mindset of what a six pack was.
Yeah,
You know,
because y'all are using six pack very salesy. And six packing for me is very service based,
Okay,
which actually I think will fit y'all's forte a lot better than being
Okay.
salesy.
okay,
If we're gonna be salesy, let's be salesy and just knock doors. If we're gonna six pack, let's six pack in a way that's different than whatever, because they've already had somebody knock their door, right?
yeah,
But our six pack, we're wasting our opportunity to six pack because it sounds like a sales pitch.
well, you gotta remember, we're not always doing this just because of a hailstorm, we get the volume of hailstorms you
Sure.
guys have.
Yeah,
So we're hitting it, I mean, just because somebody calls and says, hey, my roof needs to be replaced, and, you know, so we're out here, so we go a longer period without those hailstorms.
Sure. No, I don't disagree. Yeah, I follow it.
Yeah,
I mean, I follow the reasoning behind it, and it's actually super effective. Service. Do you do this?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you're gonna do a repair on this house, bare minimum, I at least want you to do these.
Right.
Just knock the neighbor and tell them what you're doing. Okay? Super easy. Hey man, I'm just here to do a repair on Mrs. Jones's house. If you see me walking around, I gotta take photos. You don't need to go do the whole freaking block. I'm cool with that. Just do these. We want to be known as the company that does it a little bit different. Just the two neighbors. Like that's all you need to do. Hey, as soon as I'm done, like this is the door knock for you. I'm gonna be doing a repair. Some stuff's gonna slide off the roof. Anything falls in your backyard, anything like that, I'll grab it. Here's my card. If you find something after I leave, I'll be more than happy to come back and pick it up. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna magnet roll too, if that's cool with you. Is it good? Cool. Yeah, it's good. Okay. And then roll, right? And magnet roll every single yard, no matter what. Whether you tore a roof off or if you just changed out a pipe jack, just magnet roll. Like if you have a driveway like this, and this guy's driveway's here, just magnet roll this area. Let them see you do it. And just do it every single time. We do it every time. Right? Makes it super easy. Take you 5 minutes. Just roll the magnet like lawnmower up and down. Right? And they see you do it, and it's an added service. It's added value every single time. Right? Does that make sense? Can you do that?
Yep.
But that way you don't feel like you're selling anybody, like, you don't have to feel like you're inconveniencing anybody. I'm not asking you to go up and down the street. I mean, now, this one has wind damage. Hey, I'm here for this one. I'm replacing, I'm repairing their wind damage. While I'm here, you'll have the same color shingles. You want me to replace yours too? It's a super easy door knock. But outside of that, don't worry about door knocking the whole stinking block.
Okay. That makes sense?
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
As we continue through the progression.
Yeah. Because that's a different mindset than what we've been telling you guys.
so
contract signing.
a contract signing, what is that?
Do we need to, we just did clarify the leads, do we need to go through adjuster?
Yeah, so the adjuster,
Yeah, he did.
the adjuster would be these three.
Still just those three,
Yeah.
so both of those are the
So that's
first three.
three.
Yeah.
No, this one will get these, because we're gonna park in front of their truck, we're gonna take photos from across the street.
Oh, with the leads.
So we can do that as the lead, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna get, that's what y'all declared as six pack, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yep.
contract signing, what does that sound like?
We have a notice of installation document, paper written thing that we hand out to people. Hey, we're gonna be in the area, we're going to be here, be on the lookout for us. Here's my card, it's gonna be dirty, it's gonna be messy, just giving you a heads up, we're doing Mr. and Mrs. Smith's house.
Okay,
It is what we would consider a notice of installation.
so that's the one that sounds the most like my old, like that was the original one that all of it predicated on.
We're telling them, we're gonna be here, be on the lookout to notice that we're in your neighborhood.
Yeah, okay. And you're doing these?
The six.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Would you expand that?
Hold on, I'm gonna see where else y'all door knocking at, I'll tell you.
Are we handing those sheets out, like Michael's talking about, have you guys got all those?
So we also made a door hanger for that. So we had a door hanger, well, you wouldn't do it then,
We don't have door hangers.
I know. But I had a door hanger when we wrote the date on, like, this is the date of the installation. If they didn't answer, we hung it. So they'd at least know. And it had the salesperson's number on it. Call me if any trash blows in here. It was a personalized word, it had a blank for the customer's name that we were roofing, and then a blank for the date of installation. So you realize what we're doing whenever we do that, right?
Yep.
What I'm doing is I'm getting all these eyes on me
Mm-hmm.
for the whole day. They're gonna watch me roof this house. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And I'm not doing it for any other reason than I want you guys to watch me and then decide that I'm a good roofer and then call me. Right? That's really realistically what we're trying to
Set
do.
yourself apart.
Setting ourselves apart. Okay, so y'all do
Nobody
it.
else in that neighborhood's calling saying, hey, we're getting ready to do this, watch out.
No, they just show up with
Yeah.
freaking 900 dudes, they throw the crap in the driveway and then they roll.
Yeah.
They never tell anybody. So when's the next time y'all six pack?
Would it be after the installation?
Would love for it to be during the installation at some point, but right now it's after. Collecting it's when we finish, when we collect the first check.
Okay. Check collection. And then any other time?
Collecting the final check. And those last two is what, they sound like a survey. How do we do? What did you think? Did you notice we were here?
Okay. Next, we're gonna do over here. So we're gonna do the lead. We're gonna six pack. And do the adjuster. We're gonna do three. I'm okay with this contract signing one. So mine would sound something like, hey, I just wanna let you know that we're gonna be scheduling an installation for Mrs. Jones. You know, that's gonna be happening in the next however long, you'll give them the time frame. So I'm gonna change these two, just so we're clear. This one's gonna lead into the next one. So, just so you know, right before we actually do the job, we will actually tell you as well, because you're their neighbor. And only so that if anybody needs to not park in front of your house, perhaps, you know, trash blows in your yard, so on and so forth, you've got my card, that way you always have somebody to get a hold of. That's all I'm gonna tell them at this one. Cause, I mean, going to tell them like, hey, Mrs. Jones signed a contract, it's kind of weird a little bit, but, I mean, I'm okay with 6-pack in there. The next one is not gonna be after the install, it's gonna be, so do y'all deliver materials day of installs, or do y'all do it the day before?
Day before.
Y'all do day before. Do y'all go out and check the color the day before?
No, they're on the roof.
Huh?
They go on the roof.
Oh, they roof it.
Yeah,
Okay. You go and check that the materials are in there.
in the morning, yeah.
Yeah.
The morning
Morning of.
of the install.
No, we're getting material delivered morning of.
We have a superintendent
Yeah.
Okay.
that takes over that role for the RAs.
So, the day before the install is when we're gonna do our next door knock. And we're gonna do the baker's dozen, the full, like this whole thing right here. Okay? So, day before the install, this is the one where we're inviting them to watch the house. This is the one that we need the door hanger for, telling them we are roofing Mrs. So-and-so's house this date. In case they're not there, so we can leave it, all right? If y'all are willing to do that. We always did because, again, they had our salesperson's name or our office number, whichever. We actually put our foreman's number on there, not the office. That way they knew who was gonna be on the job site. So if you're using the same guy, it's super easy. Like, hey, call Jack. So our guy's name was Jack Brown. So Jack Brown, here's what it is. If anybody's car is parked in a spot that's inconvenient to you, if you have, and it was all written in this format, if trash blows in your yard, if something's happening, call Jack. He's the guy that's over the job, or you can call the office and add Jack and then the office number. But that's pretty much what that door knock's gonna be, right? Is we're coming tomorrow, we're gonna tear stuff up. I'm gonna tell these guys we're gonna magnet roll beside your houses. Is that okay? Right? We're gonna park cars all up and down this road because we have tons of guys. I don't know how your guys roll up, but ours rolled up all in. There'd be 4 trucks out there, and then my main guy, and then my sales guy, and then me. We want to have 6, 7 trucks on the street. I mean, that's why we went so far down, because we'd be parked down here. And tell them like, hey, if we don't need to park in front of your house, let us know. If I'm roofing this house, and this house has a ginormous shade tree on it, I'm gonna ask them, because I know my guys are gonna go sit under that tree. You know it, and I know it. We're gonna sit on the curb, but under the tree in the hot of the sun, right? Hey, do you, I know you have this big shade tree. Mrs. Jones doesn't have a shade tree. Do you mind if my guys sit on the curb to eat lunch, that kind of thing? They'll always clean up after themselves, etc. I can't stop them. It's 105 outside. If it's a problem, let me know now. That way I can make sure that Jack Brown knows not to let them come sit on your curb.
Usually our guys are good at staying in the same side of the street, and they'll either get between the houses or stay in front of that house, but they're.
It all started because one day we roofed a house that one guy had this really mature oak tree
Yep.
that was down here.
Oh, no.
And they parked, well, they had their cars parked all down the road, and they were sitting next to their truck that was parked in the street right here, eating under that tree. No big deal. I just wish I would have asked the guy. The guy wasn't mad about it, he could care less.
Yeah.
People aren't gonna say no. That's the main thing, and I'm not gonna invite my crew, hey, I've got permission for you to eat underneath Mr. Jones's pecan tree.
Right.
But just in case it happens, I've at least alleviated the situation, right? That was always our thing, is I just didn't want anything to come up.
Setting expectations.
Setting expectations, making sure if it happens, no one's gonna be upset. So, the day before the install though, right, that's because I want them to know that I'm coming that day because I want all these eyes watching this house. Because that's when they know that they can actually watch the roof, like it's that day, right? Now, I might, so then I would do this one, the after the install one. To the full, oops, I spelled dozen wrong. The full one, is that usually within 24, 48 hours of the roof being completed, I'm assuming?
Same day or 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah. So the reason is because I'm gonna ask, did you have any trash blowing in your yard? Like I told you, I would come back and check. again, tell them like, I'm gonna contact you and let you know whenever I'm in your neighborhood, I would want that done for me. Our goal is to treat people that we want to be treated. If you were in my neighborhood roofing, I'd want to know that you were there and what you're there for, right? And then on the final check, you know, that's for you guys to decide how far out y'all want to go on that one. We never door knock that one. You want to do 6-pack or you want to do the full?
As many times as we've hit it, I
Yeah,
don't
we
see why
can
we
do it
need
again.
to.
Yeah.
If you're doing it in full, then
I mean, you got 5.
you wouldn't need to do
The
it.
goal is this. The goal is, we sold this roof, right? And then we sold this roof. Well, now, we're adding one to this side, over here. We're gonna be door knocking our own customer. These people are gonna get X'd off of that list for that one. And then we sell this roof, well then, it just keeps changing and going all the way down the road. Like, we're door knocking all of this stuff in progression. If it's working correctly, you're gonna be door knocking for multiple reasons to the same exact person. Hey, Mrs. Jones is getting hers done tomorrow, and Mr. Williams has an adjuster's appointment tomorrow. Just so you know, there's gonna be, you know, and then you can
Now
knock
you've
it
got
out.
eyes on you, now you've got people that are like, okay, you're.
Yeah, this guy's
in my
busy,
neighborhood.
like, he's in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, like, the goal is to spread out like wildfire from that one door knock through this, but do it in a very unassuming, non-sales way, right? I kind of like after the install, you can do like a survey. Like, hey, we just always want to survey the neighbors. Like, we obviously care what our customers think, but we also care what their neighbors think. Because those could be our prospective clients. What do you think about the cleanliness of our curb? They say, yeah, it looked like crap. Okay, that's a 1. What could we have done to make that better? You know, start a conversation. If they give you all 5s and maybe they don't need a roof, well, one, if they give you all 5s, they're gonna go, hey, can you look at my roof? Because they just went like, your crews were professional, you were professional, you kept telling me what was going on. They didn't just show them our, you know, neighborhood like a bunch of vultures, that kind of thing. They're gonna ask you to work for them too.
Right.
If they truly don't ask you, you can actually ask them, you know, hey, you don't owe me anything, obviously, you're not one of my clients or anything like that. But if you think we did a really great job, like, we'd love to hear about it on Google or Facebook if you don't mind. You mind putting a review on there for me? Sure. You never know, right? I know you don't need and so what people do in this case too, that I've seen before, like in a storm, because my guys used to do this really bad. And we got to where this was all not negotiable. But if this house has a brand new roof on it, they don't knock that one door.
Right.
And that's whenever I know that you're doing it for the wrong reason. You're doing it because you're selling.
Yep.
If you're not willing to knock the new house roof because it's new, then that means you're there to sell them something. Right? Let's be honest about why we're there. And when we got away from that, the funny thing is, their roofer didn't do that. Right?
Now we're just like that.
We're just like them, we might as well be them. Just start door knocking every house, because that's what you're doing. But we had a lady that referred us like 7 roofs that didn't get her roof done by us. She literally watched us do her neighbor's roof, came outside during the install, asked us 10 bajillion questions, because we were there, and we spoke English, and she was like, yeah, man, whenever they did my roof, they just sent some guys, they didn't speak any English. Like, she just told us every laundry list of things that she didn't like about the way hers went. She started referring us, but hey, do you have some cards so I can refer you guys some business? Because like this, if I ever did a roof again, I'd hire you. And we were getting the roofs, and she literally went outside while we were doing their roof, took her roofer's sign down and put it on the side of the house. I don't want anybody else to call it. I'm gonna just leave that blank unless you want to give me one. I was like, I'm not putting my sign in front of somebody else's house. I can't do that because it was like a shingle that we didn't offer. Like I think they put OC on it. I'm like, no, like I'm not claiming somebody else's job.
Yeah.
But she started referring us business because of how we treated this whole process, right? And our process really went, it was just these 3 right here. Like that's all we did. Y'all are expanding it out, which I understand why you are, to the lead. just make sure the style that you're door knocking and that adjuster, and we did some on, so on the lead, we generally did these two and maybe one right across the street. Wherever I was gonna go stand in their yard, if I was gonna touch their property, I absolutely called them. I never walked in someone's yard and didn't tell them I was gonna be there. And I always told them I was walking down beside their house. Because I thought that it was, you know, what I would want. I don't want you walking down the side of my house. I mean, if you're there to inspect my neighbor's house and I see you cruising down the side of my house looking like this, like you're on my property now, like I don't know what you're doing over here, but you're not supposed to be over here. So I would want someone to knock and tell me that they were doing that. It's just me personally. So that's how this whole thing started. Because I wanted to be treated a certain way, so we started treating customers that same way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So any questions about that? That was not an hour.
Did y'all document that?
Document the door knocking. So what my guys did is anytime that you got someone's name, we put it in our CRM, so it would be documented in that way, because if you knock on their door and they call into the office, don't you want the lead?
Of course.
Yeah, so it was like our salesperson's responsibility is to put their lead in, because that is truly their lead at this point, because they're doing the 6-pack. So I want to make sure Matt gets it, because he did his job. He 6-packed that. It's not just a random call in, that's a 6-pack call in. And so y'all are using John Nimbus, right? We had a lead source called 6-pack. And we put everybody's name and phone number. Well, we put their name in. Maybe not we didn't ask them for phone numbers. It was just literally their name.
Name and address.
Name and address. Yeah, do you mind if I ask you your name? Just so that my crews, like, we put you in our system. If you have a problem and they know where you live, Jack Brown will know your name. Like, we always want everybody to call people by name. You're important to us. I'm not even your customer, don't care. That's not what I
I
said.
don't want your information.
So you just put name and address?
Just name and address. I'm not asking for your phone number, I'm not asking for your email, I don't even care, I just want your name. That way that we can call you by name when we see you. Because Jack will call you by name, and he would, dude. He would look up you can search by the street name. He'd search the street name and all the addresses would pop up. And he'd draw a little map in his truck, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Williams, and he knew who everybody was. Hey, Miss Williams, on roof day. She's like, I mean, you see them, they come look at him, like, what the hell? Like, hey, Jack. He's like, want me to get the mail? Do you want me to get the mail for you? I mean, he's super friendly guy. Like, this dude was the best marketer. Couldn't sell anything in his life. For as far as like in the house, but man, he could sell them on how great he was gonna be when like they just bought a roof because they wanted Jack to come back to their house. He'd carry the trash cans outside. Miss Williams, I got it for you, it's trash day. And he'd carry the trash down the driveway. Like just providing a service while we're there.
All right, Brooks.
But does that make sense? I mean that's the way to make it. But yes, put the name. Don't try to go. Well, so what's your phone number, man? They get their phone number when they become a customer. Put their name in whenever they're just gonna be the neighbor.
Yes.
And I would do it on a piece of paper.
Put that under the contacts, guys.
We can have the contacts on the job numbers?
Yeah, so just put that under contacts so that when Megan, if they call in and they want an appointment, Megan, the first thing she does is add contact and takes their information down. When it pops up, she'll tag it to that one, and then you guys look your information.
She'll tag it to us when we put it in.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So,
So just name and address?
yep.
Yeah. And when you're going to the door, if you need to, make it a little sheet. It just has the, oh, you got one?
That's what we've got right now.
Yeah, that way that you're not having to just get their name so that
Yeah.
you're not busting out your computer every single time on them. And then get in your truck and fill them all into job notice so they're in there before anybody could call in. Because that was our deal at my company. If they're not in job notice, they're not yours. Like if you call back, like if Steven shows up at a roofing appointment right here because they called in and Matt had sold this roof, if he didn't put this person's name in, it's on them.
Yep.
Like, but we also told you always give them. That's why we wanted a 6-pack and give them your card, give them your card, give them your card. So we had the door hanger, had your number, like had your name on it, you know. And we trained the receptionist to say, were you calling for someone? Like if they're just asking for, hey, I need an inspection. Yeah, did you have this? Was there somebody that dropped something off, or did they talk to you already? Like she was digging because we did leave the door hangers out, and I don't want you to get you know, a lead not given to you because you hung door hangers because they weren't home. Like, you're only hanging door hangers because they're not home, hopefully, right? If not, we got other issues.
Yeah.
But like, always knock the door. These are the easiest door knocks because you're not selling anything. You're literally just there to provide information and be nice. So the other thing that we did the day of the install, do y'all go to the jobs?
I don't know about the day of, but we're.
While they're
I
installing.
try to go by all my jobs.
Not consistent.
I try.
Okay,
I mean, I make an effort to do that.
so the day of the install, my sales team did this right here. They were at their job from 7 to 10 and then 4 to 6.
Why?
They're standing out front with Jack Brown. One, this is the person that Mrs. Jones knows is you, right? We've handed it off, and I understand we've done a good job of handing it off. But these people that you door knocked, when they're walking their dog or whatever, they'll stop and talk to you. They'll ask you for something while you're actually there. We got more leads standing in the front yard than we ever did door knocking. Like, we were the guy that spoke English standing in front of the job. My guys would get leads all day long. Like, all of my new guys would go stand in front of all of the old guys' stuff that didn't want to show up to their jobs. Because it was an easy way to get leads because you didn't have a door knock. But you got people coming back from school about 4 o'clock, 4 to 6, right? You're coming home. Hey, where in the area? You mind coming to look at my house? You know, they'll be driving by, stop, roll down the window. Hey, you got a card on you? And it happens all the time, right? I can't expect my production guy to have a card on him or to have my card on him. That's my problem. He'll give him a card, and then call goes to the office, and then you don't get the lead because it's down the road. Or they're dropping their friend off here after school and then going to their house at a different neighborhood, and we don't even know that it's Matt's. Right? Hey, what's your address? And pull it out and put it in job business. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll come so you can look at your house when it works for you. You'd be surprised how many appointments you will schedule. I mean, you can even make it 8 to 10. It doesn't have to be 7. We just started everything at 7, so. We tried to stay there for about an hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning, and then go do whatever you gotta do, because most people we didn't set appointments real early for customers, so they weren't truly doing much else. I mean, I don't know, do y'all set appointments at 8:30 in the morning?
Depends.
And usually it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, the earliest
Yeah.
would be 9.
So 7:45 to 8:45, and then roll to your next appointment at 9, right? And then I'm gonna go back, like right around get home time, and and it's gonna take 3 hours out of my day if you did that, 7:45 to 8:45, and then 4 to 6. If I have appointments, I can't do it. But if I don't, like, I'm for sure gonna be here during these times, because that's how I generate leads. Be in front of the job. The same reason I'm here to 6-pack it. Well, I get in the 6-pack and then not show up when they do the job. Like, that doesn't look very trustworthy either. Hey, I really care about you, so here's my card. If anything blows in your yard, and then you never see me the day they're installing.
And then when
That
you're
doesn't
there-
seem real believable, right?
Well, then when you're there in that 4 to 6,
The 4 to 6 is gonna do this after install.
well, you're doing that, but you're also walking the yards
Mhm.
and looking over the fences at the yards you've already asked permission to look over the fences. When we first started, I used to sit on every job site. I was a PM too, and I sat on the job site all day long unless I had an appointment.
And how many jobs do you sell off of those?
People stop all the time and ask me, hey, can you do such and such, or,
Mhm.
want a card or whatever.
It's amazing to me. So, I don't want you to be a project manager at all. I want you to be a RA. I would call you a salesperson, but I'm not allowed to.
Thank you.
I want you to be an RA, right? I don't want you to be a PM. But if you want to be a really, really good RA, visiting the job site while your job's going on, every good RA, salesperson in every other industry does that, right? If you buy granite from somebody and at a big company and they send and you buy a big job, they'll send their crew, but the main guy will show up at some point during that install. I mean, I built houses, and they do it on new houses because they're trying to go service the builder. Like a good lumber company, the lumber salesperson will show up in the middle of you framing to make sure you have everything that you need. They're not going to be out there the whole freaking day. They're not there to sit there and watch the job. They're to make sure that their customer's happy, right? They're to make sure that their guys didn't drive a forklift across somebody's yard. I mean, that's what a really good salesperson does, or RA. But this is salespeople. These are salespeople in different industries. RAs here, it's kind of the same thing, but that is what a good RA would do. Is drop by just to make sure that all the expectations that you set forth are actually being accomplished. If you told this guy, I mean, here's the deal. If you six-packed, and I told this guy I'm not gonna park in front of your house, and I pulled up as a RA, and you're parked in front of that house, we got a problem. You didn't read the notes, like, you made me a liar, don't make me a liar. But if I don't ever show up all day long, I have no idea they parked out front all day, and you made me a liar all day long. If they're parked right here, and I told them I wouldn't, I can get them to move, and then knock that door and apologize that they parked. Hey, they obviously didn't read the notes. I really apologize they parked in front of your house, or whatever the case is, right? Like, I'm just trying to find a reason to talk to these people. That's all that it is. And the beauty is your PM that's standing in front of the job becomes way different when they've heard from me 1, 2, 3, 4 times before I was ever standing in front of that job. And I realize like we're going back to the same location a lot of times with the same people, but that's how you drip on people. They don't buy from the first person they see every single time. Right? In roofing, I think I heard an average that they buy from the 15th person they've talked to. But that includes like door knocks and everything. And this is in a storm environment. I don't know about, retail is a little different. I'd say it's probably cut in third because there's just constantly people knocking the door, maybe 5. But here's the deal. If you had a storm, or if you even had an area that people are actively door knocking, at least to some degree, you might be the 2nd person, the 7th person, depending on how active the door knocking is in between, the 8th person, the 14th person to talk to them, but you were number 2, number 7, number 8, number 14. Guess what? Number 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, they only went one time because that's what lazy salespeople do. That's what lazy RAs do. They're salespeople, actually. I'm not even going to call them RAs because they're not. They are salespeople because they're not trying to provide a service. This matches the value, like the core values that y'all want to be. This is be the roofing expert, right? Treat everybody with humility and respect. That's what this is. Like that methodology is what gets you there. My 2 cents. It makes you not have to be a vulture with the rest of them, but you're able to generate leads in a way that fits exactly what y'all like to do, which is not door knock with pressure.
Well, no way that you never asked to get on their roof.
Never asked.
Not once.
I don't have to. If they're gonna ask you to get on their roof. And what's funny is this one's gonna feel like a waste of time because you're gonna knock on that door and they're gonna go, "What the heck did he knock on my door for?" Oh, he's a nice guy. Like, that was weird. He didn't try to sell me anything. Then you knock again. Maybe the adjuster, or maybe if it's one of the ones across the street, you knock again and they're like, "Hey man, since Mrs. Jones is getting a roof, you wanna look at mine?" "Oh yeah, sure, I can." Versus pressure. I mean, like, that whole methodology, if that thing sounds like, "I wanna get on your roof, I wanna get on your roof, I wanna get on your roof," it feels like pressure. And people don't really like that, right? What's gonna happen is you give them a card right here, and they're gonna go to Google. They're gonna search Texas Traditions Roofing, they're gonna go to Facebook, and they're gonna see it. And hopefully they're gonna see your smiling face, tagging yourselves at Texas Traditions Roofing, right? Maybe they friend request you, don't know. Maybe they like the page, who knows, right? Put the little Facebook emblem on your cards. We do Facebook, we do Google+, Google Places, all that stuff, right? Because we want them to find us. Then this one, if they haven't already, they'll do it again. They'll probably ask you on this one, "Hey, since you're here with an adjuster, let me know how that goes." You can ask them, "Hey, we're about to get up there with the adjuster. If you're interested, I can tell you what the results are." Because it should probably be fairly similar to whatever your roof condition is. Like, no big deal if not. I'm not trying to say anything. Just trying to tell you what's happening with Mrs. Jones' house. Right? You can actually usually do that on this one because hopefully this and this are the same day, right? You're not the same day?
Not always.
Not always, it can be, but not always.
We can be 30 days between
No,
Adjuster appointment in the contract?
no.
Yeah,
Why?
Oh, shoot, yeah, I guess we can.
What's that?
Well, the adjusters, no,
paperwork.
correct me if I'm wrong, adjusters won't always, they'll claim the roof, but they've gotta go back and file it. So there's a lot of third-party adjusters.
Unless
that
it's
do it now.
nationwide, they'll do it.
Well, some adjusters
They'll do it quick.
can wrap it up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Some adjusters go, well, here's what I see,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to go back and file it, and
They let
desk,
the carrier decide?
desk jockey will let you know whether it's actually claimed or not.
Okay.
And so there's a lag there. And then for us, the additional lag is we take care of all the questions up front.
Right.
If there's questions about the contract and the adjuster, we're dealing with that. And then the question of the colors and bill. My latest one was the adjuster there wrote the check. So, okay, Mr., are you ready? We're ready to sign. We just need to pick colors. Oh, wait a minute, wife's not here. So we can't, and he pulls out his counter. We won't do you back together until next week, the way their shift schedules work. Okay, then that's when I'll see it. So that we run into a lot of variables that just slows it down, and we answer an awful lot of questions before we ever get that contract signed.
So,
Non-scheduling conflicts.
The scope of work's incorrect. You know, they're missing items on the scope of work.
you won't
Sometimes
sign a contract with this good work?
they have missing items on the scope of work. There's not enough money to even put back
You
like
don't sign a
material.
contract.
Not usually.
Okay.
We won't sign it if there's, yeah, scope of work items, we'll get those figured out before we'll sign a contract. But if you're with the adjuster.
I hate all of this.
But if you're with the adjuster, that's when you get all the scope of work.
Making me want to like,
Problems
go
fixed.
to epileptic seizure.
The reason for it is Mike and Mary didn't wanna sign contingency
Contingencies.
contracts.
Sure.
That was their reason.
Yeah.
Let's get-
I'm not really
let's get
signing a
the-
contingency. I
Completely understand.
You know, I'm signing a cash out of pocket contract.
Yep.
This is a contract, and then I'll work out like, I don't wanna work out their claim if they're not with me. Like, I don't wanna work out their scope of work if I'm not gonna get the contract. So I want them under contract. That was my view. Like, I'll do my work if you sign, otherwise I'm out. Like, that's the method we went with, but you can probably figure that for us, right? You try to do that, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it.
So, because the way that I would have set up, the way that I would set up your appointments with a homeowner from the RA standpoint, if they are following a claim, like I'm talking about your guy that you just said, like we're not going to be together, blah blah blah. Cool, no big deal. So here's how this is going to work. When your adjuster comes out, they're going to make a determination. Hopefully, they're going to write you out paperwork on the spot. They're going to write you a check. And we're gonna come to an agreement. This is not your color agreement, this is just an agreement. Colors can be changed. So your wife doesn't actually have to be here for this. We can schedule a secondary appointment after that, whatever. Or you can just say, hey, are y'all both gonna be at the adjuster appointment? No, only me. Okay, cool, here's what's gonna happen. Set the expectation. They're gonna write all this paperwork out. I'm going to get an agreement signed. Saying that we're gonna do the work. Then we're gonna get all the colors picked out. And we'll edit it and change it, blah, 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 and do all that in a week or whatever. I'm gonna pick up that first check. Y'all pick up the check at the contract sign?
10% deposit.
Like, y'all don't just pull the ACV check?
10%.
Yeah, so we used to pull the ACV check. So,
Different market.
yeah. Sort of, I just asked for it and they just gave it to me.
But
You say different market until you go, yeah, if I had asked for it, they would have given it to me. They don't know what
I think we found that people will,
Yeah.
but we'll still go, we'll just take the 10%.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't want them to have to.
Yeah, it's a minority of my clients that are actually getting a check
Yeah,
that moment.
right.
That's, like I said, it's a minority of the time.
If they had it, we'd get it, right? Because I don't deposit in their bank account.
Pretty much.
But, so from that adjuster appointment is whenever I'm flowing straight in, I mean, I'm telling them, hey, we're gonna go through and show you all of your different options. We're gonna sign sign an agreement. If wife wants to pick the good, the better, or the best, we're still gonna sign one on the good. Cause you know you're buying a roof from me, cause I got it approved. We can always change it. Like, none of this is set in stone until we have the colors, we don't have the color. We're gonna put weatherwood on everything, and it's all interchangeable with, you know, Miss Susan's approval, whatever it is, you know. I'll come back, but I'm gonna leave there with an agreement, even if I don't even leave with a check. Like, hey, we want to do the 10% right now,
Well, it's,
but I'm gonna leave with a signed, I'm gonna leave with something signed.
that's something for Mike and Michael and Gary to look at and decide, because it just hasn't, it's not what we've been operating. Not that, it's not that we're opposed, just a little
Yeah.
different change,
Yeah.
in doing more, so. what-
I'm just trying to solve what you were asking me, Michael, with like these maybe contracts and hopes and dreams contracts. So,
Yeah.
like, we're trying to close. So I'm like telling somebody I'm about to close on you. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna provide a service, and you're gonna close. Like that's how it's gonna work. But I'm setting that up front, right? I'm advising that this is the process that it works in.
Yeah, if you don't
know that you're gonna use me, I'm not gonna show up to your adjuster appointment. No big deal. It's up to you. I don't really care. But I'm not gonna come blow another hour of my day and get your roof blocked for you to go buy from somebody else. And I'm sure as heck not gonna take that and get you more money so then you can really go buy from someone else and pocket a bunch of cash.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to sign a contract before I do any of that. Like, that's just what we did. It's up to you. But what you're doing, in my opinion, and where your disconnect is coming in, is when you have gotten these people more money, and they're not on paper, they got no skin in the game. I get them a ton of money, they figure out, hey, the last time that Matt was here, it was 14.2, I have 19.7, now I should probably call another roofer, see what they'll do it for. Yeah, man, I'll do it for 15. It's cheaper than 19.7, I'll do that. Keep $4,700. They don't know how any of the process works, right? So that's why we always wanted them on paper. If you weren't signed, like, or on an iPad now, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But they didn't sign,